Do not fall for this trick of, yes, I knew it, I knew what to do, I can handle everything. No, this is where you can hit or miss. You can sell yourself and get the job right here. Welcome back to another video. If you are new, it is your girl Andy. Welcome back. I am a nurse practitioner, and today I'm gonna tell you how to ace your job interview. For my new grads, you've taken your NCLEX, you've passed, you're all excited. Now you've begun a new level, a new chapter, which is getting a job. Before you get a job, you gotta go through the interview. There are different interview processes that's going on. Before, it used to be you come in, you see your supervisor or your manager, your hiring manager, or a panel of people, interview with them, you're good to go. Since the pandemic, things have changed. Most interviews are conducted virtually, which means you can go through 3 interview processes for one job before you get the job. Sometimes you have to go through screening process first with the hiring person, like an HR. Then you have to go through the director, and then or who will be your immediate boss. After that, you might have to go through like colleagues that they've picked out in that company to kind of screen people that are going to be joining them. You might have to talk to maybe 2 or 3 people that is going to be your colleague at that job after you've spoken to the CEO, you've spoken to the director, you've spoken to an educator. So in order for you to ace through all of this, you gotta be prepared. You got to be prepared. I'm going to tell you right now, don't worry, you got this, you can do it. The hardest part was your NCLEX, the hardest part was your boards. You pass your boards, you finish, you're good to go. And even if you're switching from one job to another, this is a perfect video for you. All right, so let's dive into this video. Most people, they're not going to ask you how to describe how the blood flows from the right chamber of the heart to the left chamber of the heart. What is hemodynamics, or explain the anatomy of the heart, explain what a headache is. They're not going to ask that. Most places are not going to ask that. They're going to hit you on behavioral questions and scenario questions, which is why NCLEX also hit you on some scenario questions. So it is very important that you get yourself braced for that, get yourself prepared for that. If they ask you, tell me about yourself, it's usually not about if you're married, if you have children, how many, unless they specifically tell me about your family life. Usually when a potential employer tells you, tell me about yourself, it's usually about your career. What is your background? For me, for example, when someone asks me, tell me about yourself. Now, this very particular point is where you sell yourself. This is where you can hit or miss. You can sell yourself and get the job right here, because they want to know about your background, especially if you have an extensive and rich background, someone that has been in the healthcare field for a long time. So for me, I start with, I started as a nursing assistant, and I don't break my process. So I don't say I started as a nursing assistant and went on to become an RN. No, I go through each step so that they have an idea of the steps that I've gone through and where I am today. So they have a full scope, a full idea of my background. Started as a nursing assistant, and then I went on to become an LPN before I went on to become a registered nurse. And while I was a registered nurse, I've worked as a floor nurse, I've worked as an infection control nurse, I've worked as a nurse educator, I've worked as a quality health assurance nurse. All this, you're saying, you're wrapping their head up, okay, with your experience. They're like, whoa. And then now I'm a nurse practitioner. And being a nurse practitioner, I've worked with pediatrics, I've worked with older patients, or if you are an RN on the floor, maybe transitioning from one level to another, or transitioning from one unit to another. You want to let them know the unit that you're currently working keying in. And again, this is the point where you sell yourself. So you talk about, your background, the experiences you have, things that you have done. So I've been a nurse practitioner. I work with children, I work with older people, I do pap smears, I do knee injections. So, you throw those things in there. If you're an ICU nurse, I've been in the PACU, I've been in the intensive care unit. You throw those things. I work with drips and da 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 da. You throw those things in. And if you're a brand new graduate, you want to tell them about your experience prior to your graduation. So if you were a CNA, you want to tell them, I was a nursing assistant on the floor. I've worked with nurses for a really long time, for like 3 years now or 5 years. I've worked with the nurses, and I've also gotten my experience with the doctors because I've worked hand in hand with them. I've had to stand in their exchange of reports. I've had to listen to them giving reports to each other, so I kind of have an experience on how reports are given. When you say that, like, whoa, even though you were a nursing assistant or you're a patient care tech, you paid attention to this because you knew where you were going to, you knew where you were walking to. So that stays with them, like, whoa, okay, so this person is someone that really pays attention to details, is someone that really is serious about their career, and they pay attention to what's going on in their environment, whether they are actively in that role or not. Really great point to sell yourself. Another common questions that they ask is, if you were at a point where you didn't know what was wrong with the patient, or you didn't know what to do, how did you solve that? And I want to tell you right now that it's okay to get help. They actually want to see the fact that you asked for help. There's nothing as bad as I know all. They don't want to see someone that says, I know it all, I can do everything. We know you can do all things through Christ that strengthens you. Hey, but you're a man, okay? That's even why Paul said that, I prayed to God, I said, take this from me. And he said, my strength is made perfect in your weakness. Sometimes it is okay to be weak. Okay, that also shows your teamwork, or someone that works effectively with other people. So if you don't know something, I want you to know that it is okay for you to say, okay, if I'm faced with a difficult situation that I don't know what to do, I'm going to reach out for help. I'm going to ask my colleague to help me. I'm going to send a message. And it's okay also for you to say, tell the patient, I don't really fully grasp what is going on with you right now, but here are the things I'm going to do. I'm going to do more research in this. I might call you later and tell you other things that we may have to do. So it is completely okay to do that. Don't fall for this for this temptation. Don't fall for this trick. Do not fall for this trick of, yes, I knew it, I knew what to do, I can handle everything. No, that's not what they're looking for. They're looking for someone that is able to reach out to others. They want to see how you work with other people. They might also ask you, what is the most challenging thing for you in your current role right now? It's okay to be truthful, because whoever you're talking to is already in the field, so they know what's going on. So as a provider, it might be you have issues with insurance. You really want to give a patient medication, but insurance is not approving that medication. You know that this is the best medication for your patient, but then the insurance is not approving it. It's okay for you to tell them that, because they know, it makes them know that you also know the challenges of the job and how you can handle it. For example, as a registered nurse on the floor, it might be that your challenges is sometimes you might have to do everything by yourself. There are days that you go to work and there's no patient care tech, and you have to do everything. You have to work as a registered nurse, and you have to work as a patient care tech. They want to understand that in some cases that you face a challenging situation, that you're able to handle that. Whatever tough challenge that you're currently facing at your job, it is okay to be truthful, because it lets them know that you have that experience and you understand the process, and you're able to handle things. They also want to know how independent you are in your current role, and how independent you're going to be. This thing is like a double-edged sword. They want to know that you're independent, and they also want to know that you are okay to ask for help. So you have to be flexible. If you don't know something, ask for help. But at the same time, you don't want to be that person that is always asking for help. Like, you can practice by yourself. You always have to go to your co-worker and ask them how to start the pump or how to do the blood pressure. Like, no, you have to maintain some level of independence. You have to be able to be confident in your job. You have to be able to be confident in what you're doing, and also be vulnerable to ask for help. You don't want to be know-all, and you don't want to be always asking for help. Always asking for help. There's gotta be a good balance. Another question they like to ask is, why did you become a nurse? Or why did you become a nurse practitioner? What is it about your current role that you're enjoying? Why do you like being a nurse? Okay. Again, you want to be truthful. Why did you become a nurse? Are you currently enjoying your job? Do you think you're going to be enjoying this new job that you're applying for? For someone that loves their job, it could be because you're a compassionate person. It could be because you went through something in your life. Maybe someone in your family was sick, and you cared for them, and that triggered you to become a nurse. Or it could be that you're a very compassionate person. You like helping people. You love interacting with people. Personally, I realized that I really, really loved nursing when I started working in a nursing home as a nursing assistant. I loved my older patients. I loved interacting with them. I loved hearing their stories. I loved helping them. Then when I became a wound nurse, I realized that I loved when wounds are healed. When I saw a really, really bad wound, and I nurtured that wound to health, and I nurtured that skin to health, it was something that was just so fulfilling to me. It made me feel fulfilled. And when I do something for my patients, and I see them go from really, really bad health state to where they are healthy, they are able to take care of themselves. It just does something to me. So for example, I met someone that was really, really in a bad place, had lost two family members, and two of her family members were sick, and it was just bad. I sat down and I talked to them, because you know what? One thing in nursing is that you have to understand that in order to nurture someone back to health, you can not only nurture their medical aspect, you have to also nurture their emotional aspect. You have to nurture their family. If you did not know that, you have to nurture them as a whole. So if your patient was doing so well, their blood sugar was doing so well, their blood glucose was great, they were coming to the appointment, and all of a sudden they fall off. They're not coming to appointments, and then the time you see them, their blood pressure is out of whack. It may not only be about them taking their medicine. It could be that other things were going on. So you have to be able to combine all of that. Talk to them about their family. Talk to them about their personal life. How can you help them? You might not have to directly do the work. It might be referring them to behavioral health, referring them to social services that can help them put those things together. Just talking to them, helping them maneuver those things in order for them to get their health back to the best their health could be. So you have to understand that you have to be someone that is compassionate, that is not only going to be, oh yeah, write this medicine, boom, you're good to go. Oh, your blood pressure, oh, no. You have to be very, very compassionate. You have to be able to treat this person as a whole. So that's also a part of you, a side of you that your employer wants to see. They want to see how you can coordinate your patient's health with their mental health, their physical health, their emotional health, their family structure, how you can combine all those things and bring it together and tie them together in order to get them to the best state of health that they can possibly be. They also want to know how you handle conflicts, right? How you handle a difficult situation, or how you handle a difficult patient. You have to be someone that is very, very calm, someone that can think fast, someone that knows to refer when you need to refer, someone that knows that, this one is out of my hands. I need to now refer you to a level, to maybe my manager or my supervisor that can help you with these things. They want to see you as a human being, because you're going to be taking care of humans. You're going to be taking care of someone's mom, someone's child, someone's daughter, someone's father, someone's brother. So they want you to be able to show that human aspect of yourself, show that loving aspect of yourself. And at the same time, you have to be able to show that firm part of you, because some of your patients will need that firm talking. You have to be able to be educate your patients. Okay, some of them will need that firm part of you. I've had patients that loving talk doesn't work for them. They need it plain, black and white. They need me saying, look, if you don't get your blood sugar under control, you might wake up one day and you're blind. You may wake up one day and your kidneys are not functioning. You can feel your arms and your feet. Uncontrolled sugar has destroyed your nerves. And when you say it like that, when you put it that point blank for them, and they're like, oh, okay. So even though you've been educating them all this while, they still did not get it until you put it that way, black and white. Look, this is what diabetes does to your organs. Diabetes is not only about your sugar not being controlled, it also affects your eyes, your kidneys, your heart. And when you put it that way, and they're like, oh, okay. And that is what is going to challenge them to change their lifestyle, to change how they eat, to change how they exercise. So you have to be able to show that part of you, that if something arises, if a situation arises, you're able to be firm and take care of your patient. They also want you to be someone that is able to maintain a work-life balance, someone that is flexible. It's not every time, oh, can you do this? You say yes. Can you do this? It's not possible. Sometimes you're going to say no, but are you flexible most of the times? Are you someone that we can count on most of the times? That's what they want to see. All in all, to round this up, when you're going for your interview, you want to prepare. Make sure that you look up the company. Very, very important, because you don't want to go there and talk about it. You apply for a company, they ask you about their company, you have no clue. Make sure you research that company, you look up their core values, what they believe in. Does it match your core values? Does it match what you believe in? Is that a company you want to work for? That's important, because if it's not, then there's no point. You also want to look up the person that is interviewing you. Who is this person? You're not going to know everything about them through just looking them up, but you want to know what kind of activities they've been a part of. Are they one that loves to do health fairs? Are they someone that, what are the things that they love to do? What is it about them? What did they say on the company site that is their core values? Because some companies, they have each practitioner say what's important to them, and they put it on their website. So look them up. Make sure that you rest, that you eat well. Overall, make sure that you pray. Is this what God wants for you? Is this the job that God wants you to get? Remember, everything that you do, let it be according to His will, as it is written in heaven. Let your kingdom come. Let thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Is this the will of God for you? So make sure you pray about it. If it's what God wants for you, if it aligns with His will for you, who are they to stop you? If God says you got the job, girl, you got the job. No one can take it away from you. If that is what God has for you, they might go around in circle over and over and over again. At the end of the day, it will circle back to you. So girl, relax. You got this. Do your part by preparing. Let God do His part by aligning everything for you. Do your part. Do your best. Dress well. Look good. Rest well. Show up and ace it. Until my next video, I love you with the love of God. Bye.